This is a World of Tanks question and answer video. A question about hills. There's two hills, Prokhorovka, Studzianki. So he's asking, for example, on Prokhorovka on the east side, why is it that the enemies don't shoot each other? You know, one will park on the north of the hill, one parks on the south of the hill, and instead of shooting at each other, they just fire across the rail into the middle of the map. The reason why is because they actually used to shoot at each other. And the reason why is because many years ago, people were afraid to play in the middle of the map. So along the rail where the heavy tanks show up in the middle of the map, there used to be nobody. It was rare that somebody would show up there, maybe once in a while. So the people up on the hill used to shoot at each other. But what happened is over time, me and other players, we were playing in the middle of the map, and then the meta changed. So now it became a game where people were shooting back and forth, which, you know, is the way it should have been all along. Improved hardening, what does it mean? It just improves suspension and repairs. You know, I don't know off the top of my head, but I use it on my light tanks, and I do believe that I get tracked a lot less often. Why is Chuck upside down? Don't know. Maybe he's talking about putting the decal. Oh, it's the camo. I guess it somehow wraps upside down. Don't know what this is. Enforced essay rigging. Okay, so what's happening in South America is that people are cheating. They're logging in with more than one computer. I used to have lots of computers. Like at work, I had maybe, at home, I had 3 computers because I did video work and I would render, and I would literally sit at the desk with 3 computers. And what I could have done is logged in 3 times, platooned, and gotten into another game. And then they're doing it for the opposite team so they can see both teams and they know where everybody is and they know where their tanks are and they group them together and they just fire at them and get tons of damage. So there's rigging. There's a video that shows it. The way to fix it is just to block people in the matchmaking by IP address. Only 3 cats. So he's saying this might be the 4th cat. It's obviously not, because obviously there's another one right here. But as far as I know, no one has found the 4th cat. The cats have numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. The number 3 cat, no one has found it yet. Last year there were 4 cats. The 3rd one was behind the snow maidens in the tree, and you can only see part of its head, and it was extremely hard to find, and you only saw it when it moved. So there's a 4th cat in the game for the holiday ops. This is how can you convince server transfers? You can't, and the reason why is because all the servers are run by different companies. The Russia, the EU, the North America, and Asia, they're run by different companies. So if they do a server transfer, they might be losing a good customer and gaining a crappy customer. That's why they don't do it. Technology to do it is easy. View range max 445. Well, this is actually, he says no point going over that. What I did was I went in a training room and I did one with my view range at the 445 mark, and I did one where I added more view range like coated optics. And what I discovered is that within the 445 range, it was easier to spot tanks the more spotting ability you had. So if you had it at 445 and spotted a tank at 200 meters, but then you added binocs, maybe you'd spot him at 150 meters. So there is a point going over it. It's just not clear. Basically what it does is the more spotting range you increase, the more you defeat enemy camouflage or concealment. And also, on the console version, I think you can view tanks beyond the 500-meter range, and they're thinking about adding it to World of Tanks. It was in the Homefront version. If you watch my Homefront 2019 videos, you can see the tanks outside of the range, and you can shoot at them outside the range. How long to choose the Chuck tanks? I believe it's until January 15th. You have to go into the settings, which is You got to go to Chuck. And you see these little tanks over here like it has a discount. I already have every tier 6 tank, so I can't get the discount. But you probably have to complete this before whatever the last day is. And the last day, I believe, is going to be January 15th. Chieftain not available in 2021 Clan Wars. So for this year, they have a new vehicle. It's not the Chieftain. I don't remember what it is. They posted here what it is. Someone posted it. They have a new vehicle, but I don't remember what it is. Okay, I don't know what it is. But apparently they're changing the clan reward tank for 2021. Rigged RNG. There's no such thing as rigged RNG. RNG is 25% plus or minus either penetration or damage, etc. It's a good thing. If you didn't have it, all your shots would do the exact same amount of damage. All your penetration would be exactly the same. If your penetration is 200, it would always be 200. So if the enemy plate is 201, you just would never penetrate it. With RNG, it adds that little extra where a 200 penetration shell can penetrate armor that's 210 penetration. Basically it. Every video game does it, going back to the beginning of time. Nothing new. It's normal. It adds a little bit of reality to the game. This is the vehicle yearbook for 2020. Basically, they released all of the vehicles in a yearbook for 2020. There's a lot of vehicles. I got almost all of them except for I don't know if I got the T42 or the T77. I believe I got one of them, and it's probably not the heavy tank. The heavy tank is the autoloader. I don't believe I have that. Maybe I have the other one. And the Concept 1B I don't have. And the Object 77. But you can go through and see the list. They actually did release a lot of tanks, and a lot of them were pretty good. Last year was really good. And if you go through the menus, you can see the yearbooks from previous years. Okay, so that is it for today's question and answer.